Time for street food, Revolutionary Park. Street food.
Welcome back, street foodies. Today I'm going to take you to one of Xi'an's many parks. It's inside the city wall to the east of the bell tower, Revolutionary Park, Ming Gong Yuan. It's been around since 1927, but there have been a few renovations since then. This is a park that not very many foreigners visit. Now I'm basing that on how many stares I got from locals when I was up in the park. There's a lot of people staring at me like, what is this foreigner doing up in our park? And I'm looking back at them like, hey, I paid to get in here, same as you. Ticket was free. Nobody paid, you just walk in. This fountain, some say, is made of an old relic from the Tang Dynasty. That was around 600 AD, so that might just be a legend. The park pays homage to the soldiers and civilians who fought with the National Army of Shan to defend Xi'an during the Northern Expedition. It's local people defending their homeland. If you've never heard of things like the Northern Expedition or the Long March, then you're not from around here. I'm not going to get into the politics of revolution other than to say that, to a large degree, your vantage point determines how you feel about things. Different sides tend to remember the event differently, and that's just not always apparent in a monument park, because it's usually only the winners that get to build monuments. That being said, as a foreigner here, I just do my best to observe and try to withhold judgment. Except to say this, these Disneyland reject statues creep me the freak out. Ugh. Since kids aren't really into statues and history, they have some rides and creepy statues set up along one corner of the park. Actually, I really appreciate how the park is divided up. Even when there are a lot of people out, like there were on this day, you could find quiet pockets here and there. Some places to exercise, some beautiful landscapes and ponds for locals to come practice music or just enjoy the view. There's just plenty of green space for people to get a quiet break from the city. In fact, just as I was getting into the flow, Shan folk music. The junk is hardcore. You put this guy on a stage next to some screamo or hardcore bands, toe to toe. That's what I'm talking about. I guarantee this guy has been through stuff. That's all you have to do, listen to his voice. Listen to his voice. People getting down on some old school instruments, pretty legit. Not as restful as before, and they did go on for several hours. After hanging out for a while, I walked around the perimeter of the park looking for something new to snack on. There were a ton of cold noodle shops, rojamoa, been there, done that. I was about to settle when I found this. Bing. I stumbled upon this woman trying to sell these bings from a little street window. I chatted with her for a little while. I was trying to figure out what they were called and like what's special about them. I heard her mention Qinghai, which is a nearby province in the northwest. So I bought this big round cracker for a little over $1. When I asked her what it was made out of, she said sesame seeds, white flour, and qinghe flour. Now I don't know what qinghe is, which is often the case in China. I mean, I don't know all the words. I barely got just like the main words. So I do what I usually do. Break out my smartphone, so I pull up Pleco. Oh snap, Pleco product placement. Nah, I'm just kidding, they're not paying me, but for real, I use them all the time. So I'm looking up Qinghe. I got the Qing, which is Qing from Qinghai. Then I'm like, which he is it? He like box? Is it he like drink? He like river? There's a whole lot of he's. Basically, I couldn't figure it out, so I went back to the shop. I actually looked at the Chinese characters, wrote them into my phone, and I realized it wasn't he, it was ke, which Qingke together means barley. Barley flour, which is grown in Qinghai province. A mystery solved, talking about Pleco and perseverance. So this cracker is made out of barley flour. It's a bit mealy, but I liked it. I was pretty hungry after all my walking around, and I ended up eating more than half of the cracker right there outside Revolution Park. So I hope you enjoyed this quick snack. Do you eat crackers? What's your favorite kind of cracker? Let me know in the comments below. Next week, we're gonna revisit an old classic with a new twist. Oh snap, come back for it. Until then,
Eat it on the streets. Watch out for the parasites.
Street food.